This video is going to cover arithmetic sequences. So we're going to cover some terminology first. So arithmetic sequence is a list of numbers where the difference between successive terms is a constant. What that means is there's difference between each number is the same. It doesn't change. So what we call that constant is the common difference. All right. So in an arithmetic sequence, each term is a constant amount more than the previous term. That constant, like I said, is called the common difference. We do have a general rule for the arithmetic sequences, and as you can see there, it's the term is going to be A, so A is your starting term or your starting number, plus bracket your term number, what your goal, like is it the 10th number in the sequence, is it the 20th? That would be your n, minus 1, and then multiplied by the common difference. So we're going to do some questions here. We need to find the value of the pronumeral in each arithmetic sequence. Alright, to start with, we need to find our common difference first. So your common difference, D, is going to equal what we're going to call term number 2, take away term number 1. So in our example, it's going to be 2 take away 8. Which gives us -6. So the common difference is -6. So now if I want to find what term number 3 is, so term number 3, I know it's going to be 2 take away 6, which is -4. All right, and then if I wanted to find term number 4, it'd be -4 take away 6. All right, so here we go again. So unfortunately this time we have x at the start. It doesn't change anything. We can still find the common difference. So we're going to do that. Remember, this time, because we can't use term 2 and term 1, we're going to use term 3, take away term 2. So we know we have a common difference of 7. So it's increasing by 7 each time. So knowing that, I know that my term 1 or x is going to equal 7. Alright, so here we need to find the 15th term of each sequence. So we can use our formula. Alright, and in this case, sometimes it's good to write out what we know. So I'm going to write it in blue, so it's a bit different. We know A is 8. We know N is 15. We need to find our D value, so D, and we're going to say it's 13 take away 8, which is 5. We now can substitute these in. So if I wanted to find T15, it's going to be 8 plus 15 take away 1 times 5, which comes out as 78. And we're going to do the same thing here. I'll write out the formula. It's a good practice to write out the formula often, so you start to get your head around it and you don't forget it. It's a form of study. So again, A equals -3, N equals 15, D is going to be 2 take away -3. So remember, when you got a negative and a negative, that creates a positive, so this will be 5. So T15 is going to be -3 plus 15 take away 1 times 5. And that comes out as 67. Alright, so now we need to find the formula for the nth term of each sequence. Same thing, I'm going to write down my formula. Start writing down what we know. We don't know what n is this time, but we know A is 100. We know D will be 102 take away 100. So 2. Because we're not told to find a specific numbered term, we just leave n as is. So Tn is going to be 100 plus n minus 1 times 2. we can multiply this out. So we're left with 100 plus 2n take away 2. And we can simplify that down to get 98 plus 2n. Alright, and we'll do another one here. Same thing, write your formula. We know A is negative 21. We know D will be negative 17, take away negative 21. And then we fill in what we know. Expand our brackets. I'll draw the arrows just to remind you. And then we can simplify it down. Remember, when you have a negative, such as negative 21, and we're taking away a bigger number, taking away another number, negative, remember we get negative 21 take away 4 becomes a bigger negative, negative 25 plus 4n. Alright, so what term of the sequence 159 is 213? And I'm assuming you can guess what I'm going to start with, and we're going to write down our formula. Now again, it's good practice. Let's write down what we know. I know A is going to be 1. We don't know what n is, so I'm going to put a question mark. This time we do know what Tn is. We know that's going to be 113. And as always, we can go D is going to be 5 minus 1, which is 4. Since we only have one unknown, we can solve this by just substituting in and then rearranging. So I'm going to do that. So we know 213 is going to equal 1 plus n minus 1 times 4. Okay, so what I can do now is expand that. So 213 equals 1 plus 4n take away 4. I can combine my like terms on the right hand side. So 213 equals 4n take away 3. And then it becomes just a regular equation. Plus 3 plus 3. With those cancelling out there. And then we can divide by 4. And n ends up equaling 54. Alright, so we're going to do a recap of what we just covered. So remember, arithmetic sequence has each term increasing or decreasing by a constant amount. That constant is the common difference. On the screen you can see in red the general term, the formula essentially we're using to solve most of these problems. And then remember, when you're trying to solve these questions, always start by writing the formula. It's a good idea. And then write down what you've been given. Once you've wrote down what you've been given, you usually can identify what needs to be found and how to solve it, whether that means substituting in and then rearranging, or just substituting something in and getting the answer.